Gary Jones and myself and Peter are going to get together for lunch on the 19th.
Mm,
And he sent me a list of about 4 days that he was going to be around, and then he takes off again.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. Well,
yeah,
that's that's good. That's good.
yeah.
I uh, I was fortunate that Tom Ben stopped in the summer. He has a lot of friends in the area, so
Uh-huh.
we get to spend some time with him.
Good.
We got bad news concerning him. His wife's cancer has come back, and they're battling that right now. Sandy's such a nice person,
Uh,
and
that was
and
Tom's wife.
yeah, Tom's wife, yeah, yeah, and Rich Marachi and Ruth stopped in
Uh-huh.
and spent some time. I keep asking why he doesn't he doesn't get on the podcast, and he keeps saying he forgets about it, and I said, well, from now on, I'm gonna call you the day
Yeah.
before the broadcast and see what your excuse is then. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah. That's just like I know Pete's been chasing Ron Herzog for years, trying to get him to get on, and he just doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Ron was he was very friendly towards me.
yeah,
Uh, I and because you're upperclassmen when I came in, I spent 1 year at Colorado, and then I came up there, and who was the other one? Steve
there's a guy
Torrendo.
named Stephen Andreas
Yeah,
came in about the time you did.
yeah. But all the people that came in after that was uh, like Carl Laws and
Uh-huh.
Jeremy and all that. I don't. I've lost track of all of them, and
Yeah. Yeah. Me
yeah.
too. Me too. And when I send out the notices for these, I'm still sending it to 30 people, you know, but
Uh,
there's just a small group of us that attend on a regular basis.
well, I apologize.
Ah,
8 o'clock seemed well.
yeah,
I have no more physical therapy right now
yeah.
because they put a vacuum pump on my leg,
Okay.
so I can't put any pressure, and I felt bad. I had to talk to you in a hospital bed. I was gonna try to sit up, but my wife threw a holy fit, so here I am.
Well, I think she's probably giving you good advice.
Uh, After 3 years, yeah,
Yeah.
she's been as they say, I got the prize in the popper, the box. I tell you, she's
Yeah.
been good.
Good.
So, what have you been doing with yourself? When you left school, where did you go?
Well, I actually when I graduated, I moved to New Jersey,
Yeah,
and Rosemary and I got married that September in 1970.
yeah,
And I taught for 14 years, taught middle school science.
yeah.
And then an insurance company hired. I went to Rutgers and got a doctorate and degree, a PhD, and then I went to work for an insurance company for 20 years
Oh well,
and was the chief information officer for two of their divisions.
yeah.
And then after that, I had a website development company that I had for a number of years. And now I'm just not working, but I'm president of the board of trustees here in the community we live in.
That is a thankful job.
Uh, it, it, I got recruited. This is the first time I've been on it I got
Yeah.
recruited, and I'm going to serve 1 2 year term, then I'm off.
Yeah, it's not a very, I'm not, I haven't been on the board here, but I've been on the parish board at the church, and
Yeah,
it's, like I said, it's a
yeah,
thankful
it
job.
is. It
But
is.
if you, I would like to survey, I don't know how you do it, but I would like to survey the people that went to Hiram Scott and look who's on. I'll be damned.
Yeah.
Hey, Morris. Hey,
Hey,
Dave.
Herb.
Your ears must have been burning.
There's Herb. That's Dave Brock.
Yeah,
Yeah, his name's on the bottom of the screen.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Now he's on the top of the screen. Now he's on the bottom of the screen.
yeah.
I think as you talk, you pop in and out.
Gary's the only one that throws us off with his name when he shows up.
Yeah,
How you
Yeah,
guys doing?
we are all
doing,
right. How
doing
you doing,
fine.
Herb? How are you
Yeah,
doing?
I'm doing all right.
Uh,
Yeah,
All things considered, yeah.
yeah. You're in your office.
I'm in my office.
yeah,
Who
yeah,
who picked out all the pictures you got on the wall?
My wife did some of them like this one with the little guy and the lady.
Uh huh.
Um, I took those pictures and developed them when I was stationed in Germany.
Oh, okay.
So the ladies went Paris and the little old guy is from Stuttgart.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
so
Good. That's good.
you behaving yourself,
Who, Dave or me?
both of you.
I'm not.
Oh, good.
yeah. I'm behaving, that's for sure. But anyway, but what I was trying, I would like to see do what everybody left from Hiram Scott. What did they do, and how successful uh, the people I know, how successful they've been, and after.
Well, Dave, what I'll do, um, I'll see if I can. I'll send a note out to the 30 people that we send notes out to, and
Yeah,
ask them if they can send us something about what they did after Hiram Scott, and we can put
yeah,
it together and share with everybody.
yeah. I know Tom Ben and I had. Uh, that's a unique situation, Tom Ben. We both competed against each other in high school, and we both went to graduate
I'll be
school
right back.
together at
Uh,
Marshall, and then we both ended up at Hiram Scott,
ah,
and he ended up being a superintendent of a school system.
yeah.
Amazing. But anyway, I the reason I wonder that is I had a I had a doctor up at Howard University. He was one of the world's famous gynecologists for the Afro American community.
Uh huh.
And him and I were at lunch one time and we were talking. So I just asked him, I says, what part of the States are you from? He said, I'm not. I was born in a mud hut in Kenya. How did somebody make it from Kenya to being one of the outstanding gynecologists at a Howard University in the United States? How's that happen?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fascinated by those kind of those kind
Those
of
kind of stories. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It
But
just
anyway,
goes to show some people have just determination. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And a lot of us were, at another college before Hiram Scott, and they invited us to leave, and that's how we wound up at Hiram Scott.
well, uh, I was in Colorado, and And this one football coach, he didn't like me and I didn't like him. And I told him to take a flying jump. And that was it. I was on a one-way bus out of town. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah.
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 No, I was at the University of Nebraska before, and they politely asked me to leave. They had this rule about going to classes and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. They were kind of particular of that.
yeah.
Herb, what did you do when you left school?
I got drafted, enlisted in the Army. When I got out of the Army, I went into public accounting and have been in public accounting from basically 72 until now,
Oh, wow.
Herb, how long were you in the Army?
3 years.
What was your MOS?
Well, that was the problem. When I enlisted, I told the guy I just graduated with my degree in accounting. So I wanted to be in the accounting department. And the recruiter said, okay, not a problem. Well, accounting in the Army is inventory control. If I had said finance, I would have gotten into accounting. So our first MOS was inventory control. And then they said, if we do good in that school, we go to computer school. And I thought, well, that's good. I graduated second in that class, and then they sent me to automotive repair parts school.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, which I know nothing about a car. If I get in the car and it starts, then I'm fine. And if not, I call AAA.
Yeah.
But I graduated first in the class of there. And then when they sent me to NAM, they put me in data processing. Makes no sense whatsoever. And then from there, I went to Germany and they put me in charge of the motor pool, which didn't last very long because my roommate over there said he volunteered to go back to NAM. And he said, you know how to type, don't you? And I said, yeah. He says, good, we'll make you the company clerk. So I was the company clerk my last year in the Army. So
Gary and I joined the reserves. We went together over to Fort Collins and joined the reserves.
well, when I was looking to join,
Yeah.
they had I'll call it like a 7-step ladder that if you had just graduated high school, you were at the top, you were the first one to go. And if you just graduated college, you were the last one to be selected. So I couldn't get into reserves. So
yeah, we got in and then we both transferred back to New Jersey. And I was in the 78th Battalion Lightning, and they were a training unit. And I was a clerk typist because they found out I could type.
yeah.
And one day it was a beautiful spring day, and I looked outside, and it was an infantry training unit. And I looked outside, and everybody's outside having fun and joking around and having fun. And so I went into the captain and I said, I want to change my MOS. And he said, well, what do you want to do? I said, infantry. And he said, are you nuts? He said, people kill to get your job.
Yeah.
I said, yeah. So they changed me over to infantry, and I wound up running the rifle ranges down in Fort Dix, for several years.
That's where I did my basic.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did small arms fire, and went down there every year for a couple of weeks, and then a couple of weeks played team handball and for the Army and some things. But then when I got out after our 6 years, I got out because I was starting my doctoral program, and the reserve unit met on Tuesday nights. And I knew I couldn't do the reserve unit and my doctoral program. So I went in and got out. And Mr. Jones is up there on the screen. He stayed in a bit longer than I did. Right, Gary?
I was there for 27 years. I retired.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the biggest thing I got that really helped is the health insurance.
Yeah.
I was in
Hey, John.
well, when I joined out in Colorado, I was with a combat support unit. Then I came back to the East Coast. I got into a school unit, 1153rd, where we were teaching all the MOSs. We had all the command and general staff college courses we were teaching for all the officers that they had to have. And I was operations. And I went pretty quickly up the line. I became an E8 in 12 years. And, you know, I enjoyed it. I really did. Teaching, operations, it was really a challenge.
Yeah, I would have stayed in if the reserve unit was a weekend outfit, but because it was meetings during the week, I couldn't.
My first unit, that 1153rd, we had meetings on Thursday night, 2 Thursday nights, and a Saturday
Mhm.
in the month. And our meetings on Thursday and Tuesday night were 2 hours, not 4.
Yeah,
And we, be honest, we'd run across the street and have a beer on break time. And, I had it easy. I truly do.
yeah.
I did.
Oh, listen, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. But
Yeah,
hello, Mr.
I
Sokola.
got,
Hello,
don't
how you
ask me
guys
how,
doing?
but I got real lucky that I was an E5 after 5 months in the Army. And I don't know how, but I didn't argue with them.
Yeah. Well, they wanted me to stay in when my reserve duty was up. And so they promoted me to an E7, a sergeant first class. And but I couldn't stay in. So I got out as a sergeant first class.
When I was getting ready to go out, they said that I was ready to go to E6, but I had enough time in grade, but not time in service. So they said, if you want to stay in, we'll be promoting you to E6. And I said, I think I'll go out.
Yeah. 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 My daughter retired after 27 years as a lieutenant colonel. She was battalion commander down at Fort Hood for EOD.
You have to salute her every time you see her?
Pardon?
Do you have to salute her every time you see her?
Absolutely not. But she got out, and they wanted her to stay in, and they told her they'd promote her to colonel, but she had to go to DC and do her Pentagon tour. That's why she got out. She said, absolutely not. She didn't have the patience for that. She said that's like becoming a lieutenant, in a unit reporting to a captain. You're just a gopher. So she got out. And now she went back to college and she's a vet tech and works in a veterinarian clinic.
When I was stationed in Germany and when I was company clerk, we were supposed to work 8 to 5, but the first sergeant used to come in and he'd get in and he'd start calling us down to come work at 7:30 in the morning. And then we got this gung-ho lieutenant that said, we should have more PT. So everybody meet outside at 7 o'clock and we're going to have PT. Well, that lasted about 2 days. And I went and talked to the first sergeant. I said, don't you think we should start working at 7? And he said, definitely. So this other guy and I, we got out of PT to sit at the desk.
There you go.
It works.
John, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about you guys?
He looks so serious, doesn't
He does.
Me?
he? Yeah.
This is going on my 4th hour of video chat. I
Wait,
did
did you
close to
find one
3
you
with the
like?
grandkids, so
No,
just
okay.
just got off the video chat with them.
Aha.
So I'm sort of video chatted out when I talk to you guys.
How old were the
One
kids?
of my neighbors just came in, so I'm going to click off here.
All right. Herb, good to see you.
We'll see you next month. You guys
Yep.
take it easy.
You too.
See you, Herbie.
See ya.
Be safe. How's Mr. Brock doing?
I'm hanging in here. I'm confined. I'm still confined to a hospital bed. So,
Uh-huh.
but hopefully they get all the infection taken care of, and I have one more surgery, which they think that they'll do it, and then I'll start going to PT to learn how to walk again.
Mm-hmm.
So, but besides that, everything's great. Everything's been good.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
Hey, John,
parts down there.
my granddaughter's coming to Pittsburgh, to the University of Pittsburgh in January. She's a sophomore in high school, and they're bringing her in for softball for a camp. So I'll tell her that if she gets hungry, just to call you.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I had Peter's boy up here. He was having some problems when he was going to Carnegie Mellon, and I took him to the doctor, and then we ate a couple lunches together. He came down here to stay
Yeah.
for a little bit to get out of the dorms. So yeah, that'd be fine. I
Yeah,
got no
well,
problem with that.
her mother's coming. I may come. I don't know if I do. I'll let you know ahead of time.
Definitely.
So it's just for a weekend.
You have athletic grandkids.
Two of them,
Yeah.
and I got two of them, and one's a hard worker, one's a welder.
Uh-huh.
How's the one your grandson out in Illinois?
Well, I'll tell you what, he's all right. He thought he was going to go in there and start playing his freshman year because when they recruited him, they really hyped him up, and he didn't play his freshman year, and he hasn't played his sophomore year so far. And he was talked to his mother the other night, and she said that they told him how would he feel about changing to guard instead of tackle, and he said that's fine. And he told his mother, she said, well, how do you feel about that? And he said, that's all right. It's easier. I think that's part of his problem. He's a kid that's kind of laid back. He's 6 foot, 6'6", 300 pounds, but his personality is not, let's run in and tear him to pieces, or anything. And he's a good football player, but he's just not as aggressive as he probably, as they thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
So
the team's
John,
very successful too.
John, I've always want to ask you, what part of Pittsburgh are you from?
The Fox Chapel area?
Oh, absolutely. I'm from right outside of Pittsburgh, a little town called Houston, Pennsylvania. It's
I'm
by
not familiar with that, Dave.
Washington, Pennsylvania.
Geez, I didn't even know you were from Pittsburgh.
Well, I kind of like to keep a close profile.
I guess so.
Yeah. I just found this app. It's called Pittsburgh, and the guy's named Pittsburgh Joe, and they do all the festivals and all what's going on in town. So I kind of keep up. I miss the town. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a small town and it has everything that a big town does, with less lines.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been, I could get any ticket in town.
Yeah.
So I've enjoyed it.
Well, you remember when before the Steelers became a good ball team, anybody in high school that had a high school ID, when they played at Pitt Stadium, you could get into Pitt Stadium for nothing. That's the only way they could fill up the stadium.
I could believe that. I
That
saw
had
a
to be-
couple of games when they stunk.
Yeah.
Must have been years ago.
Oh my God, it's 65, 64. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah, I was up to Pittsburgh. My son, my middle son, is real good friends with Manny Sanguian. And so we were up, we were guest of his at his when he became in the Hall of Fame, which was the first time I've been in Pittsburgh in, I don't know, 10 years. I can't imagine, I can't, how it's improved. I mean, it's,
So you knew Manny Sangian? Or
oh yeah,
Yeah.
good family friends.
is he nice? Is a nice a guy as he seems to be?
He let's put it this way. If he likes you, he's the nicest guy in the world. If he
Okay.
doesn't like you, I don't know what you could do to get on his good side. You ain't gonna do it. So
Yeah.
he's that way, you know.
Okay.
He talks about one day I asked him about Johnny Bench. He bent my ear for 3 hours how he hated Johnny. So but anyway.
Yeah. The only time I ever saw him and talked to him was when he was down at his barbecue place at the stadium.
Yeah, in the back.
But he was always very friendly,
Oh yeah.
when he was down there. So
He's had some really bad situations where his son has stole money from him, stole like his Super Bowl rings and sold and stuff
wow.
like that. He's just had some bad luck. So, but anyway,
well, I think the last time they were inducting him into the something down at down at the stadium, and he looked like he was physically disabled too. Is he?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
It is. If they wanted to take the pictures of Sanguini and me both in a wheelchair, and I said no, I'm not doing that. So,
Yeah.
but he is he can't walk at all, you know. So and
That's too bad.
Yeah, good guy. But I don't know. I would tell you a good story, but I don't want to
Hey,
take up
John.
time from these other people. So,
John, if you're not doing the 19th, anything the 19th, Gary and I and Pete are getting together for lunch in Philly.
Yeah, I really can't. Really can't. I
It's
know
just
Pete
what,
already
10
asked
hours?
me. Pete already asked me, and there's just no way.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah,
maybe one of these days we'll surprise you and just wind up on your doorstep.
Hey, that's no problem either.
You never know.
I got plenty of room.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, were you on for the 19th, March?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're both going to show up. Pete and I are going to show up at your house.
Well, that's
I
okay.
hope we're on.
You guys are more than welcome.
I'm bringing you a little present from Vermont.
Uh-oh.
Now, Peter said something about strippers. Was that true, Gary?
Yeah, Gary's got a part-time job as a stripper.
No. I mean,
Oh.
having strippers. At
That wouldn't even be funny, Mark. That'd be a disaster.
It's in a senior center.
Oh God. I don't know.
I don't know.
Have a present
I think
for
they're
him.
taking me someplace that I couldn't afford to go by myself.
What's that? The
restaurant.
yeah, the guy got off the boat in about 65, and he built up a restaurant chain around here, and it's one of the best restaurants in South Jersey. And Jersey has a lot of good restaurants, and it's Aldo Lamberti's, and it's right a mile from my house. And it's really nice, and Pete remembers it because Pete used to live, I didn't know it at the time, but about 3 miles from me. And that's where he wants to go to lunch or dinner, and that's fine with me.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
Yeah.
Pete dated a girl from Cherry Hill there for a while. I remember that.
Did he?
Yeah, I forget her name. She was a little goofy, but yeah, he was up there a lot.
Well, he lived in Voorhees Township, I think, and he had that girl, and he uh-oh, Michael.
Hey,
Wow.
I
But no,
know.
he I didn't know him when he was living over there. I didn't know that until a lot later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. We found out Carmen de Cinqua lived about what, Gary, a mile, 2 miles from you?
About 2 miles from me
Yeah,
over
we
in
never know it.
Collingswood. Yeah.
Andy Abrams and I worked about a mile from each other for several years and didn't know it.
Well, Morris, you live a mile from one of my best friends.
Yeah,
We would be
absolutely.
there all the time for
Yep.
20 years
Yeah.
and never knew that
He
you
used
were
to go
there.
right by he used to go right by the entrance to our community and he didn't even wave.
No, no. But how's Mr. Michael doing?
I'm okay. I'm about 13 hours ahead of you guys, so it's Friday morning around 9:15 for me.
Well,
Yeah.
where are you now?
I'm in Singapore.
Oh, wow.
Everybody calls in from Singapore.
Yeah.
How long you been going on this trip?
About 3 weeks. I started up in Tokyo and got on a cruise and came down and ended in Singapore. We missed two of the typhoons. The ship had to deviate from the typhoons coming across. Where was it? Hong Kong. We didn't go to Hong Kong because of the typhoon. Then there was the other one that came across Taiwan, so we missed some stuff there. Anyhow, I'm here. I'm here till Thanksgiving Day almost.
Okay. Oh, good. Pete's not
Then
here
what do you
because
do?
he's
Jump
still down
on
in
another
Costa
boat?
Rica.
Say again.
I said,
You
Peter's
jump on-
not here tonight. He's down in Costa Rica.
Oh,
Peter,
okay,
Lamella.
cool. That's a nice retirement place if you really want to make your money go further.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Pete goes like yourself. Pete goes all
Mike
over.
Bollinger. Yeah. Hey,
Hi,
Mike.
Jeanette. Hi, Jeanette.
Hi.
Anyhow,
Where are you?
Singapore.
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 That's where he is.
Well, computers work all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never stay home. I should sell my place actually. It's, anyhow, it's also hard to get you guys when I'm in Hawaii because there's right now I think there's a 6 hour difference between time zones,
Yeah.
maybe 7. I get confused because we don't switch to daylight savings time or anything
Right.
in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we appreciate it when you do stop in.
Well, I thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that comment
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I see Sam's starting trying to get in.
When you coming back to Washington?
I think I'm going to stay out of Washington for a while,
Ah,
and let's just leave it at that.
okay. Yeah. Understand.
Yeah.
Push.
Well, if you're looking for something to do, I hear they got a lot of job openings coming.
Hey, listen, I worked 30 years for the Congress. I don't need to go back and work there anymore.
Is
So,
it any better or any worse, or stays the same?
people that I keep in touch with are like they're getting ready to bail, so they're ready for retirement. Get the heck out before their pensions get cut or whatever is going on. I don't follow that stuff anymore.
Hmm.
So.
No.
Anyhow, so who else is on? I'm not showing a picture of everybody. The only person I'm seeing is Morris and you, Gary, and that's it.
Oh,
Is that
well,
all?
Dave Brock's on, John Sokola. Sam is trying to get on. Let me see if I can get him to unmute. He has difficulty with his computer a lot of times.
How about
I just lost the picture, the photo pictures of you guys. All I have is two little dots.
We can still see you.
Okay, there you go. I got you.
There you
back,
go.
Mark.
Now you should be able to see.
Not really.
No?
The only one, just you, Mars. That's all I can see.
Okay. Well, you're lucky.
Let me have another sip of my coffee here.
Right there.
Yeah, I've got it set you can set the view on it to
I got some.
the speaker, the gallery. I've got it set on gallery now. And it should be showing at least well, it does for me, everybody. So
Oh, there you go. There you go.
All right.
I got John. I've got Dave Brock. I got Sam
Yeah.
and Gary.
Yeah.
Mr. Sam, how you doing? No volume.
Let me ask him. He's got to unmute his telephone. Let me.
I'm not a good lip reader.
Six.
Sorry.
No,
All the Republicans committed suicide. I mean, Democrats.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him to unmute.
So Gary, you still got that bottle of Chevitz in the basement?
sitting waiting for you, buddy.
Oh man.
That thing has to be 15 years old.
Plus the 18, probably if it's the 18. So we're close to 30-year-old scotch now.
You still drinking it?
No, like all of us, we get old, we got things that happen to us and stuff. So I was just diagnosed with diabetes right before the cruise. So I've ruled out a lot of liquor.
What is it? A crazy thing is, if I drink beer, I'm a diabetic, type 2.
Right.
If I
Same
drink beer, my blood sugar goes down.
Wow.
Yeah. Jeanette gets upset with me at times because I'll drink some beer. And she'll say, you're diabetes, you're diabetes. I take because I prick myself
Right.
and it drops.
Wow.
Significantly.
I'm on this thing here. I don't know if you can see it.
I'm going to be looking at that.
Yeah,
doing
it's
that
a-
my next visit.
Yeah,
My,
it's actually the new one out is System 2 Plus, and it gives a reading every minute. And it's the thing you just put in your arm, and it's now for this one here I have is only for 14 days. The other one is for 15 days, so you only need to do 2 a month. So yeah. I was in Malaysia last week, and the alarm went off. I became hypoglycemic, which is below too much, not enough sugar, and I wound up having to go to an ER there in Malaysia, and they gave me a couple shots, and I went back to the hotel room. So whatever, it's just dealing with all the crap that goes on in life. So that's it.
Yeah,
Well,
we may see Steve Taranto tonight. He had sent me an email earlier today. He had 2 MRIs scheduled tonight, one for his prostate and the other for his liver. He's having some problems and he's getting scheduled for radiation soon.
Wow.
He said if he gets home at a reasonable time, he'll join us.
What's the radiation for, Morris?
One for the liver and one for prostate.
Oh, yeah. I had prostate surgery removal in 2017.
Yeah. Peter had prostate surgery last year and came through good. He went to Johns Hopkins and he did well.
Yeah.
Who was
I was
that
debating
again?
going to Johns Hopkins when it all blew up because some of the medical profession in Hawaii isn't the best, but I wound up getting a doctor that was really good. So
Yeah, that's good.
How's your health been, Mike?
it's hanging in there, no complaints. I after the prostate surgery, I had to go for radiation treatments, and so far, I'm I'm coming out 0 negative, so that's
Gotta
good.
like that.
Yeah, I can't beat that with a stick,
Yeah,
you know.
I think maybe Sam gave up.
Mm,
We're all getting old.
that's for sure. And it comes with a lot of baggage too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. But the
you
other good,
young guys, you young guys, yeah, you're hanging in there.
Right. Well,
yeah, but the other good thing about it is that, people asked me what I was going to do when I retired because I retired at 56, and they said, "What are you going to do?" And the answer is nothing. I don't want to.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
and so that's there's good things about it as well.
correct. Correct.
You gotta get to the gym. Work out.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I can't find the time.
You gotta make time for you.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
It's a great
Yeah.
thing.
Gary goes every morning. He's, for how many years?
I'm probably 20 by now.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I try to get it 5 days a week. And Monday through Friday. Tomorrow I have a doctor's appointment at 7:30 in the morning. And I hope to get to the gym around 8. Work out till about 9:30, shower, go for coffee. Gotta have my coffee. I drink pots of it during the day. I love it. And, that starts the day. And then whatever the boss has for me, I try to get it done.
Yeah.
Stop laughing, Mike.
Well,
I got some other pictures of you. Mhm.
Uh-oh. We won't go there then.
Okay. Okay.
All right, I'll let you slide on this one, Gary.
Yeah.
I'll let you
Right.
slide on this one.
Okay. We can do that. But
Hey, Morris, have you ever tried to track down Vic Weil or Roger Park?
I tried to track down a lot of people, but no, I never got anything back from either one of those guys.
Okay.
The list that I send out to everybody, there's 29 people on it. There was
Right.
30, and Andy just passed away, but
Right.
most of them, some of them came in the beginning. We would have John, maybe 15. I think the most we ever had was about 20. But there was probably, I would say maybe 10 or 12, and then it's dropped down to about 7 or 8.
Okay.
And haven't heard anything from either one of those guys.
Wow. Yeah. I've been trying to track both of them down. I've not been that successful. But then I don't do Facebook. I don't do X or whatever it's called now, or
Yeah,
I don't do any of those social media things at all.
me either. Me either. I did Facebook for a little while, and I said, no, I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
I did it because of riding motorcycle. And that's one of the ways that the group I rode with a group called the Retreads. You had to be 45 and older. We used to ride every Wednesday and Sunday. And we'd cover 200-300 miles on a day. But that's the way they announced where the rides were going and who was going to be the leader and etc.
Yeah, he once took 2-3 weeks?
What's it?
Your trip?
Yeah, I took a 3-week trip down South Carolina, down Georgia, out to Dallas, Fort Worth, and all around there. And then storms came into the Gulf, so we had to go north into Oklahoma and Arkansas. Drove all through there, coming back through Mississippi, and loved the bike, but I can't hold it up anymore. It was too heavy.
Get a moped.
Get it. I'll tell you, with the traffic around here, Mike, you can't do it.
Gary, do you remember at Hiram Scott, you used to be able to go rent a Honda, I think it was a
Honda 50.
50cc
Yep,
motorcycle for $2 or something that way.
yep.
Now,
Right.
I sold my bike November 4th of last year.
Wow.
It
Wow.
was, my bike was 950 pounds without me on it or any of the extra stuff I put on it.
Right.
So it was, you come to a stop and, riding it was easy. It's when you stop and it tends to want to go over and you're trying to pull back on 950 pounds. I said,
I'm getting a visual on this and it's not good.
no, it's not good. I said, it's time to get off of this thing before either I get hurt, which I don't want to do,
Yeah.
or I can hurt somebody. So I finally sold the last one.
Yeah. Well, we have the mopeds are, even the ones you go up to, here in Singapore. I mean, they're all over. They ride the line as opposed to staying in the lane. The same thing in Hawaii. They weave in and out, in and out, in and out. You're lucky. We have probably one or two a month that gets killed in Hawaii because they just don't pay attention to what they're doing.
Well, I came back from Atlantic City about a couple of hours ago. First time I've been down there, and I can't remember last time down there for a meeting. And some guy came off Atlantic City Expressway, which goes from Camden,
Right.
New Jersey, near Philadelphia, all the way down to Atlantic City. Guy had to be doing 100 miles an hour on one of those zip machines. I mean, I was doing 70.
Hold
And
on.
he came by, and in about 10 seconds, he was gone. He was just gone. And I expected to see nothing but skin and bones for 3 miles with him, but it couldn't do it.
yeah.
All right. Sorry, guys. I got the cleaning crew that came in to clean the apartment.
Oh, okay.
So if you hear a lot of noise in the background, that's it. It's not. I'm not killing anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good.
Now, Gary, I don't know whether I ever told you, I had a 1954 Harley Flathead where the shifter was on the tank instead of on the handlebars.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in high school and was going out to trade it in on a new Honda 305. And this Harley would, it was a big old hog. Came up to a stop sign with a high curb on one side and a car on the other, and a highway, Route 30, in front of me. And the clutch was on your foot, and a pinion broke off. And I kept lugging forward. And so I pulled it out of third, trying to get down into neutral because it went first, neutral, second, third, fourth. And it went past it into first and kept lugging on. The guy behind me jumped off. I stayed on it trying to get it stopped. Past the stop sign, here came an 18-wheeler. I jumped up in the air and let the bike go out from under me. And the truck took the motorcycle right out. And that was the last time I had a big motorcycle.
I still like them, but traffic around here too,
Yeah.
it's absolutely insane.
I think traffic is like that anywhere you go, Gary, these days. It's just we're inundated with so many cars on the road and mopeds and motorcycles. It's just I hate to even drive the car. I'd rather go take an Uber, let them get their car racked up.
Yeah.
I had to go out to Long Island for some business out there. Went up Jersey Turnpike, went out near Kennedy Airport in New York. I'm doing 70 and cars are passing me like nothing. 2 of them went, metal came off, They didn't even stop. They didn't even flinch. They just kept on going. I said, get me out of here. This is dangerous stuff. And, it's just, you figure when you grew up, all of us, okay, how many cars did your family have? One?
We were lucky if we had one.
Yeah, we were lucky if we had one. Now, everybody in your family that's old enough to drive has a car. 3, 4, a family. I know it is around here.
Yeah.
And, they can't keep up the building of the road, the infrastructure.
Yeah.
They can't.
Well, listen,
What are
the
they going to
Parkway
do 10
now,
years from now? 5 years?
yeah, Gary, you just came back on the Atlantic Coast Expressway, but the Parkway, the average is probably 80, and 90 is not uncommon, and nobody ever gets pulled over.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about motorcycles. I never rode on the bike, but I had a 360 Yamaha, and I used to race enduros. I don't know if you knew what an enduro was.
Sure.
Racing up in the mountains.
Hmm.
And I was coming up and on the switchbacks, and I would go into the curve, I'd downshift, and when I come out of the curve, I'd go through 2 gears to the next curve. But the next curve, wasn't able to get the downshift, and I hit an oak tree, which took the wheels of the bike all the way in under to the gas tank and threw me into the tree. And if I wouldn't have wore a helmet, if I didn't have a helmet on, I would have been dead. And so the club redid my bike, and it was in the garage, and I went out, turned on the key and revved it up, turned the key off, and never been on a bike since.
So in other words, you got smarter.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but I'm past it now. So, I can't do that.
If you guys think the traffic's bad up there, you ought to try Florida. We get all the people coming in from Canada, and if you see a rental license plate on a car, stay away from it because it's about to do something crazy. So, Florida's terrible.
Well, in Hawaii, we got the problem with the Japanese because they drive on the other side of the road. So when they come up to an intersection, they think they can make a left on a red. It's like, no, it's right on red, not on left. And a couple times I've almost got sideswiped with them just pulling into the road. It's just crazy.
Do you still even have a car out there?
I do. I just bought about less than a year ago. I bought a Honda Elantra, which is fully loaded. I don't understand half the bells and whistles on it at this still point in time. I'm waiting for Colin to come out to give me some lessons and instructions of how to drive the car and get all the bells and whistles working on the car.
How's he doing?
He's doing all right. He just bought a truck. He lives in Cumberland, Maryland, and he finally got his engineering license. So he now runs the trains. So he's in the engineers as opposed to being the second in command on the train and everything. So he works for CSX Railroad. He's doing fine. Doing fine.
Did he ever get married?
Not yet. He just broke up with somebody he was gone with for like a year or so. And it's like, you're getting older. He's like 47. I said, come on, you got to get going here. I want some grandchildren. Hurry up, will you? Not working out, though. So I said, you know what? Anyhow.
2 weeks ago, we were just down in for a wedding in your old haunt, down in Columbia, Maryland. You wouldn't even recognize it. I
I've
did.
been up there. I've been up there a couple times. Yeah, it's has been fully developed. In fact, actually overdeveloped.
Yeah, yeah.
So, so where's Sav? How come Sav's not on?
Well, Sam, he sent me a note and said he was going to try and get on. He's down in North
He's
Carolina.
in love.
Yeah,
Really?
He's in lust
yeah, he moved
Again?
for spring down to
again.
North Carolina, and
Yeah, he moved to North Carolina.
No kidding.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
he
about a
moved in
month
with
ago.
his girlfriend.
Oh, we
I'm
moved
telling
for
you, Mike,
love.
there's still hope for you.
Well, I whatever, we'll see. We'll see.
What's that ring on your hand? Is that no, the other hand? The other.
Oh, just a ring.
Oh,
It's got koa wood in it. It's a koa wood Hawaii ring.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, koa wood is the only place it grows is in Hawaii. So it's a ring inlaid with koa wood.
It's really nice chatting with you guys, but I'm really fading. So,
All right, Dave, it was
hopefully
good to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dave, where are you located?
we're in Winter Park, not Winter Garden, Florida.
Oh, okay.
We, li-
All right.
we lived in Annapolis for 45 years, and
Wow.
so we moved down here. So,
Do
it's
you know where Savannah, Georgia is?
Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or not Georgia, Maryland, Savannah
Yeah.
Park.
Yeah.
yeah. It's right by Annapolis. It's right north.
One of
Yeah.
my real good friends from years. I dated his sister for 8 years before got hooked up. But yeah, we were just down there when we went down to Columbia for the wedding.
All right.
We went
I
over.
lived in Savannah Park for 2 years.
You lived there?
Yeah, I lived in Savannah Park for 2 years, way back when. God, this is like in the late 70s, I think, or so.
Yeah, we moved there. We got married in '69, and we were there from '69 until 8 years ago. So
Wow.
we
Wow.
still have our
Well,
home up there.
it was good to see you, Dave.
It's nice seeing you guys too.
Hey,
Yeah.
always.
Everybody stay careful.
And
Yeah.
Hang
you
in there,
also
Dave.
get better, will you?
Dave, I'll send you those addresses.
Okay, John, sometime we'll get together and talk about
Pittsburgh.
because there's a lot of hoots that you and I probably both ran around in out there.
We might have run into each other and didn't even know it.
I used to run. I used to go up to North. It was up on the river. It was called there was a bar up there. You could get a shot of Kistler's whiskey and a small pony Rolling Rock for 35 cents.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, those were the
Shot and
days.
beer is Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
Boilermaker.
That's the
Yeah,
worst.
exactly.
Yeah, nobody.
Hey, you could buy a case of Bud for $1.25.
I don't mean to brag, but I've traveled all over the world and all over the United States, but I've never seen any place like Western Pennsylvania. We have our own language. We have, and if you're out and you meet somebody from Pittsburgh, you're life friends. As long, it's just a great place to come from. So,
Yeah.
all right. Thank you. Thank you. And
All right,
everybody.
take care.
Here, Dave.
All right. Thanks.
See you, Dave.
All right. Bye.
See you next month.
I hope so. I hope.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Mark, can you send me God, talk about being brain dead here. Sav's address or
Who?
Gary, whoever has it.
Who?
I don't, Morris would,
Who's?
but as I said, he moved
Sav,
down about a
Saverio
month.
Grimaldi.
Oh, Sav. Okay. Yes. Yeah, at a minimum, I'll send you
No,
his email address.
I can't turn this off.
I don't know whether he's permanently settled now or not, he's only been down there a couple of months.
All right.
So, but yeah, I will. I'll send it to you, Mike.
All right, thanks. Because I actually brought my Christmas cards with me, and I think I already wrote his out, so I have to rip up the envelope and put another one in there.
Okay.
Because I don't get back until the Thanksgiving night into Hawaii, and that doesn't give me enough time to do all the prep work for the holiday. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's why I brought the cards with me.
I'll have him get in
Colin
touch with
coming
you.
out for Christmas?
Yes, he is. He's coming out for Christmas. I think he flies back New Year's Eve. And John, you should know where Cumberland, Maryland is, because that's not far from Pittsburgh. It's up in the Panhandle there.
Yeah, my daughter lives in Gaithersburg, so I'm down there quite a bit.
Right.
I got it.
Yeah, we lost John. Oh no, we lost Gary. No, wait a minute, who we lose? Oh, we lost Dave.
Hey,
Yeah.
You guys are on my iPhone, so
Yeah.
I'm like a little triangle or a little oblong thing, and you guys are big squares on my phone. So
Yeah.
it's like, what? And my son's not here to help me out with the technology.
Yeah. Well, and I tell you, if you hit one of the times when there's, 10, 12 of us on air, then it's even smaller on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I need a magnifying glass. So, yeah.
hey,
Um,
Mark,
yeah.
did you ever buy that deer repellent?
Yeah, I did. In fact, I found out Rosemary used it. We have a little bit of a deer problem, of them coming in and eating all our flowers and, all of that kind of stuff. And so Gary turned us on to a deer repellent.
Yeah.
Gary, I was out walking around the perimeter of the community the other day looking at some fence damage from the deer. And I was surprised there were a lot of people that had soap hanging on various trees in the fence to get rid of the deer. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
I
Did
hadn't
it work
either.
for you?
Pardon?
Did that stuff work for you?
No, they still come in the backyard.
Hmm.
And they still eat the plants, but it works if we remember to use it.
Is that
Well,
is that for upstairs? Is that for upstairs? Yeah, I'll take it up. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go upstairs. You're done upstairs? Finish.
Yeah. We've got a lot of raccoons now we're having problems with. We just had to spend $27,000 at the clubhouse with, raccoon trappers and damage and stuff. So deer, they just eat your flowers. At least they don't damage, your attics. So
once I used that stuff, I had no problem out in front of the house with any deer eating the flowers. They've been in my backyard. I just had a lot of work done back out there. And I saw a huge doe out there. I had to chase, and then I put that stuff out there. They're gone.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them.
Yeah, no, Rosemary got it, and we, have used it, and it does work. But like I say, you got to do it,
You got to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
You have any deer out there in Hawaii?
Yeah, we do. Actually, a lot of them are on Molokai, and they do have a hunting period where you can go over there and bag anyone. I think you get one or two. But that's the only island I know that has deer on it.
yeah,
How do you get deer in Hawaii?
Probably years ago when some of I don't know. I'm bullshitting you now. I don't know.
Again, you mean?
Yeah, again.
Okay, yeah. John would never say anything like that. I mean, he's laid back and relaxed. Why not?
Yeah, you know, I'm from Jersey, just like you two guys. So it's like, excuse you, John. I have to exclude you from the Jersey thing.
Yeah.
So somebody said, "Oh, what are you doing that for?" I said, "That's because I'm from Jersey. I can do it."
There you go. Once you're there, you're always there.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Before I moved to New Jersey in 1970 and got married, I had moved 22 times in my life.
Yikes.
Now, since Jersey, I've lived in 3 houses in the past 55 years.
Well, that's not a bad thing. I think that a lot of people have been very mobile. At least our generation has
Yeah.
been very mobile and moving around every place.
Yeah.
So,
This is actually my first house I bought.
yeah, still in 14.
Huh?
Your house number is 14, right?
Yeah.
Bel Air
Yeah.
Avenue. Yep.
Bel Air Avenue, Cherry Hill.
Yep. So my brain isn't totally lost.
Well,
Yeah.
that was good.
Yeah, I guess. Yes. So,
Gary needed a big, big basement so he could handle the pallet of coffee that he bought.
Well,
He took me to his basement and showed me he's got a pallet with coffee stacked like this high on the pallet. He drinks a lot of coffee.
anybody know what Melita coffee is? The name of it is Melita.
yes, I do. I've heard of
Okay.
it.
Yeah, well, I like regular coffee, but they made a wonderful vanilla. Just had a hint of vanilla in it,
Mm.
and they stopped making it. So I bought 5 cases. I still got about a case and a half left. So
Wow.
when it's done, I'm done.
Mark, he didn't show you the bottle of scotch, though, did he?
Yeah.
No, it's downstairs. Any
Yeah.
Scotch drinkers out there? John?
No, I
No,
can't drink
I like my
alcohol
beer.
at all anymore. It won't. My stomach gets upset for some reason. I don't know why.
occasionally I have a little black sambuca and coffee after dinner.
Yeah.
But no,
Well, you should.
I used to buy a bottle of scotch for Mike for when he came through on his way up or down somewhere. And I still got the bottle. It's about half full.
Yeah. Well.
Last time you were up here was, I think, for my daughter's wedding. You flew
think
in
you're-
from somewhere
I think you're correct. I think you're correct.
when you were. No, you
Yeah.
came here when you got sick.
Hmm.
You had
I came up.
and you slept downstairs on the sofa bed.
Right, and I had a migraine attack too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think I was up after that because one of my cousins had brain cancer, and I came up to see her before she passed away.
Uh-huh.
And I think I stayed at your place then too. Hold on, the vacuum cleaner's running downstairs, so I don't know how to mute this thing so you don't hear it,
I don't hear it.
We don't hear anything.
including me.
No, we hear you. Fine.
You're coming through clear.
We
Yeah.
can't miss you, Mike.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that compliment.
Take it as a compliment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So yeah, I've been trying to track down some other guys from the fraternity that are not on the list. And Marsh, you've probably done a pretty thorough job on it, but I'm trying to think of the people that were in my range. I mean, like, although Dave Tucker's gone and Steve Andres is gone,
Yeah.
so a lot of the ones that I used to was in the class with, so to speak,
yeah,
have passed away. Ed Whiteley, you know,
They all pass?
yeah.
Wow. Gary and I, together working on it, had quite a list of all the brothers through the time, didn't we, Gary? Through the 5 years, the 5, 6 years, that it existed, and had a full list of everybody. But we went through the yearbooks and then tried doing searching for people and so forth, but a lot of it without success.
We're
Right.
asking if you hear from somebody, let us know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I every once in a while I'll just get on there and start searching and see, but I do it on just on a Google search or whatever. I'm not into Facebook or anything like that, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys
So,
know
yeah.
if Danny Ulmer, or the reason he doesn't come on is because he did lose his hearing, or?
Well, at one point, the last time I communicated with Dan was probably, gosh, almost a year now. Dan, one day just completely lost his hearing,
Okay.
Wow.
went completely deaf, just like that, all of a sudden. And because he used to participate in these, and he didn't join for a long time, and then he started getting a little bit better, and he told me that he was going to come back. He didn't come back that month, and I talked to him again. And he was going to come back the next month, and I've never heard anything from him since. And so, and that's been probably 8, 10 months, since I've heard from him.
Wow.
So I don't know whether it got worse or he had other problems or just what it was. Bob Burrell used to be a regular.
He dropped off the face of the
He
earth.
dropped off the face of the earth. There was probably a dozen guys for about a year that were pretty
Bob
regular.
Stebbins.
Bob Stebbins. I'd have to go back and look. I've got a list, and if you want, Mike, I can send it to you on all
Hey,
of the
June.
videos I've recorded.
Katie
I've
just
got them up
texted.
on YouTube,
Okay.
and I can send you a link to where you can then look at any of them, and you might look at some of the older ones from when we first started doing this.
Right.
Because we had quite a few, and you may find somebody that you can recognize there, and we can track down.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you do that? You can email it to me. You guys have my email address, correct?
Well, you got the email for this, right?
Yes,
Then
I
I've
do.
got it.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a stupid question. Sorry. Duh.
I thought maybe you had another one.
Had what? Another email, you mean?
Yeah.
I only have that.
I got two emails. I got two email addresses. One that I use for friends and so forth, and the other I use for board meetings and things of that nature.
Right.
So that I don't, get the two messed up.
Yeah. I just have a separate folder for the board meetings.
Yeah.
I just throw everything in it. Well, I have subfolders too, but
Yeah.
I just keep that all in that one folder.
Yeah.
Main folder.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so have any of you guys been to Singapore?
I don't think so. I know I have.
Okay. I know Gary hasn't, so we don't have to ask him. So, I mean, like I said, yeah. I actually, it's very nice, beautiful country, very clean, very neat, very orderly. It's a little bit conservative, but it's not as an extreme conservative attitude. I mean, they have English is the main language, which is great, and they have three other languages. They have Chinese, which is I think Mandarin. They have a Muslim language, and then they have a Indian dialect.
Uh-huh.
And all the signs are in four, but the main one is English. And I mean, it's just the way all the nationalities blend in is just it's very nice. There's no I've never seen anything where it would disturb me, so to speak. I mean, it did take a little bit getting used to sometimes with women walking around with burqas on, but I figured, you know what?
Yeah.
They're nice and they're kind, and it's just don't let it bother me.
The vast majority of my travel's been within the United States and including Hawaii. I've been in every state in the United States, with one exception. I've never been to Maine, and I live this close to it. I've been in all the others. I used to, at one point, I had a data center in London. So for about a year, I commuted over there 1 week a month.
Wow.
But other than that, I haven't done, much international travel.
Right.
You
Right.
gotta get up to Maine.
I know.
Yeah.
I keep
The
saying that.
coastline.
I keep saying that. It's the only place I haven't been. So,
When I was a kid,
Bar Harbor, Maine is still
in
one of my
fact,
all-time favorite places.
in North America, I've been, in Mexico and Canada. The only place in North America I haven't been is in Maine.
wow. I remember we went there as a kid, but I vaguely remember where we went. I probably was maybe only 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah,
That was
No.
years and years and years and
that was at
years.
least 5 years.
Centuries, Gary, centuries, not years.
Yeah.
Uh,
No.
anyhow, so
Isn't that where Peter's in-laws live?
Pardon?
Isn't that where Peter's in-laws live?
I don't know.
No, okay. I thought Diane's father lived in Maine.
Could be.
It could be.
We'll
Oh, I'm
ask
sorry. June corrected me. Massachusetts.
the same thing.
Out on Cape,
Starts with
out
an M.
in Cape Cod. I believe in Cape Cod, Falmouth or something.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really nice. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in Falmouth in September. Huh? Yeah, and I think he goes up there
Yeah.
for family.
Yeah, Pete goes all over. He travels through Europe and all the wineries, and he's a big wine aficionado. And so
He has as much wine as Gary has coffee.
yeah. One year I was up, and I'm trying
good
Thanks,
to.
John.
comparison.
Thanks, John.
Herb and I and somebody else, I don't remember who the other person was, went to Pete's house at Christmas time. His business was having a party. We went there, and I knew Pete drank wine, so I got him a decent, bottle of wine. And he took me downstairs into his wine cellar, which is about the size of our master bedroom, and temperature controlled and all kinds of stuff. And I don't know if they do it anymore, but his wife used to buy and sell wine, trading in wines. She would buy 2 or 3 cases, or Peter would, of something, and then hold it for a few years and, quadruple their money. And he knows a lot about wines.
Yeah, this is a story even Peter doesn't know. One time I went up to visit him at Christmas time, and what do you buy, Peter? I bought a couple bottles of wine. Well, it was California wine, and I had it in my suitcase. And we got to talking, and he says, "I wouldn't drink that California wine if you paid me." Never came out of the suitcase. I brought it home and drank it. He doesn't know that happened, but
well, I think the wine I brought him was a decent wine, in that he was being polite.
Well, now he takes trips to California, so maybe he developed a taste for it. I don't know. So,
I'm not a huge wine drinker. I'm a beer guy.
Yeah.
And it's.
Yeah, I don't drink much of anything anymore. Like I said, once
Mike,
in a while I'll get a bottle, of
he
black.
has 2,000 bottles downstairs.
And I'll put some in coffee after
Wow.
dinner.
Wow.
Well, Morris, I since they diagnosed with diabetes, they said to try to cut out the liquor, especially the scotch. And so I found there's a zero, absolute zero liquor. They have it in gin, whiskey, and tequila. I think there's one other one. And it's not bad. You want to try to find a substitute for any liquor if you can't drink liquor. This is 0 proof. There's no alcohol in it at all. and I'll send you the name of it.
Yeah.
But it's a little expensive. And it maybe the tequila has a little bit of a peppery taste to it, but
Yeah.
it's not bad. It's
Now
not bad.
send me the name of the tequila. You know, we've also I've got 2 bottles, 2 quarts of grain alcohol. You remember
Oh
that
God,
from
that goes
college?
back to some of the days at the fraternity house with the green alcohol.
Yeah, I got 2 bottles of it
Carl
because
Law
in
jumping
COVID,
out of the window on the second floor.
yeah, in COVID you couldn't find hand sanitizer or anything, so I went to a
Right.
liquor store and bought 2 bottles of or 3 bottles of it, and we used it for hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
And I still got 2 quarts of it in there. I don't remember who it was. It might have been Jim Marino or Carmen, but they'd go to the liquor store in Scottsbluff and they'd buy grain alcohol, and then they'd drink part of it at parties and so forth. And they'd cut it down about 3/4 with vodka and water. And then they'd take a case of it when they went back to Philly and sell it as grain, because they had the original grain alcohol bottles, and they'd sell it as grain alcohol that you couldn't get in Philly, and it would pay for the whole trip. They did that 2 or 3 times.
Didn't Dave have an episode with grain alcohol one time at one of our Purple Passion parties? I thought he temporarily went blind drinking it straight.
I don't know. You die. You die drinking that stuff straight. It doesn't take very much of it. No, it's dangerous.
The only one I remember is Carl Law jumping out of the second floor window. That's the only memory I have of the green alcohol parties.
Yeah,
I don't even remember them.
yeah. Well, Gary, we drank beer. That was all we could afford.
Yeah.
Well, Gary, you had left there by the time I got into Scottsbluff.
I always thought you and I had been at Hiram Scott the same time.
Hmm.
Well,
But-
Gary, you left in '68, right?
68.
I came in '68, so in late fall of '68, I came in.
Well,
Well,
Gary,
then I came back to school a couple times because I was working with Morris's dad. And on weekends and all, I would come back. I'd drive from Grand Island all the way out. That was like a 400-mile one way. And because I graduated in June of '68.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, I didn't get there till September, October of '68. Yeah, because I met you through your cousin,
Barry.
Barry. Yeah, 'cause Barry was there when I was. Barry was there when I was.
Then I was there because we went to school together and graduated together. Barry's gone.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, because the way I remember meeting you was at our wedding when Rose and I got married.
Yeah.
At the wedding, and Barry was there with Chris, and you and Jeanette were having dinner there at the restaurant next to the hall.
Actually, that was you had your wedding reception there. We were at Jeanette's sister's wedding there.
Okay.
But that was a dry wedding. So we'd come over to your wedding and have our drinks. And,
Now you know why the bill was so big.
and
That's why my father-in-law said to me, "You got to come and help me sign this check," because he said, "I don't know how to write those high numbers out."
Yeah.
no, they had their wedding reception there at the same time.
Right.
And so Jeanette and I would come over. I had to be in what, 73, 70?
73. Right.
Yeah. Because we got married in 72.
Yeah.
But that could have been. But no, Barry and I, we flew out there in '65, October.
Right.
We graduated in 68. He drove home because my mother came out with my brother, drove out. And then Barry followed them home or back to the East Coast.
I'm trying to think. 'Cause I think the link of meeting you was through Barry though.
Yeah, probably.
I think so.
I still have a lot of your I was just trying to look it up. You remember the book you put together for
Oh, for the fraternity, yeah.
yeah, I got two of them.
Oh.
Do you
And
want one?
actually, you and Jeanette and Rose and I helped to assemble. We assembled them all together.
Yeah,
We all
because
got
we're
together.
having that thing down at the Holiday Inn in Atlantic City. The
Right.
reunion.
Right.
That was a
Right.
good time.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
was good. Yeah.
We didn't know where Morris was at the time. I thought he was mad at me, but because of how what happened with his dad and me.
Yeah.
And
I lost track of everybody, except Mike Esposito and Jimmy Villano. Were about the only two guys that I kept in contact with when I moved back to Jersey.
but
I think one of them has passed away, if my memory serves me correctly. And I'm not sure who told me that. I mean, I know John Kaufman's still living out on Long Island. But I haven't heard boo from him either lately for years. But I do occasionally hear from his former wife through Christmas cards and everything. But
Mhm.
yeah, I don't hear from John at all.
Now, did you know Butch Churchill?
Yes, I did. He came in after me.
Okay, yeah, he's still. I'm still in touch with him occasionally. He lives up in Vermont, and is I think retiring from the real estate business, and he travels around, and plays golf.
Hmm.
But
that's not a bad life.
no,
No,
You gotta like that.
but that's true.
Yeah.
So
And
I was out in Hawaii.
and some people just can't settle
About 80,
down. They keep moving
86 or
around.
something that way, doing a technical demonstration to our insurance company out there, and it was showing that you could take a picture of a house and have it on your computer, and it was a big deal. They were using mini computers, and I played golf. I don't remember where we were in Honolulu, but it was like playing uphill, all the way. It was a beautiful golf course. But
yeah, that's probably the ones out on the west eastern side of Oahu.
yeah, it was on the
Um,
eastern side.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I live on the backside of Waikiki, and
Okay.
I overlook across the canal the public golf course that's there,
Yeah.
which they don't really maintain the golf course, but it's when the rain comes in, it's all green. When the
Yeah.
rain goes away, it sort of turns to like little bad shades of green and brown.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's I think on that trip, one of the guys' name was Ron Lee, that was the IT director out there, took me to a restaurant that night, and he says, "Come on, we're going to go to a place where the Howleys don't go." And there were about five of us that went there. And finally, about midnight, we noticed that they were literally folding the tables up and rolling them by us to give us a hint to leave.
Yeah.
But no, that was a good trip.
Mm.
Never been to Hawaii.
Yeah, beautiful place.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is.
I imagine
I mean,
it's kind of crowded now.
It is the Makiki area is getting so built up with high rises, and the Chinese are buying them all. They're going for like 1.5, $2 million units. These are condos. It's sort of starting to remind me of what Hong Kong Island looks like
Hmm.
with all these high rises there, and it's like And the problem is the state is not keeping up with the infrastructure,
Okay.
whether it's the sanitation part of it or the roads of it, the roads. I mean, invariably, when we have heavy rains, the sewer system backs up into this one street all the time,
Yeah.
all the time. It's like, ugh. I mean, and the canal's been polluted for years when they had that, it's been over 10 years ago, where a sewer line broke that was laid under in the canal.
Hmm.
And it spewed, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of gallons of raw sewage into that.
Wow.
And you won't even can't. They don't want you swimming in there anymore because you get what's that skin virus that you can get from open sores and everything. I can't think of it. It's a flesh-eating disease. Anyhow, but we still have some of the Filipinos go there and they go fishing for the tilapia.
Okay.
It's like, are you crazy? you know? Anyhow.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've played some of the best golf courses in the U.S. and a couple in Ireland and so forth. And I don't play golf, but when you're a senior executive in a big corporation, you have to play golf,
Right.
especially
Right.
if the boss does.
Right, exactly. And you gotta let him win too.
Yeah. Oh, that was never a problem. I was never that good of a golfer.
Yeah. When I
Yeah.
worked for Texaco Oil Company, they always had a golfing outing once a year. And so the first year they said, "Oh, you got to come golfing." I said, "I don't play golf. I'm not a good golfer." "Oh no, come on." So we went, and I have a really mean right hook whenever I hit the ball. And at the end of the game, after we finished up, I had a couple of them come up to me and say, "You know what? You're right. You don't play golf very well, but you know what? At least you tried."
Yeah. We would have meetings at golf courses where we'd meet from 7 to 11 in the morning and then play golf the rest of the day.
Right.
We done one down by Santa Fe one time that, and I don't remember the name of it, but it was a famous golf course down there. And they, along the fairway on both sides, they had signs, stay out rattlesnakes. And they weren't kidding. They weren't kidding. They said, if your ball goes out there, you do not go after it.
Right. Yeah.
Lots of them out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I think I'm gonna need to leave you. I haven't had breakfast yet, so
Right.
I'm glad I was able to get in touch with you guys again. I will. The next one's what, in December?
It's always the first Thursday of the month at 8 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah, usually Thursdays is our board meeting. That's why I have not been able to connect with you guys.
Yeah,
'Cause
the
it's
next one is December 5th.
December 5th. All right. Yeah, so let me see if the board meeting doesn't conflict with it. Because they do sometimes theirs is on Zoom also. So I don't think I can do two Zooms at the same time
Yeah.
if I'm no matter where I am. But if it's in Hawaii, I usually attend in person. So
Yeah. We had our election for the new members for the board of trustees tonight. 3 new trustees were coming on, and I left at 7:30. I don't know what the outcome of the election is, but I told everybody that this is next year's my last year. I'm off. It takes a lot of time, as you know.
Yep, it does. And some of the stuff you get, you don't even want to hear about. It's like, where are you coming from on this? I don't get you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a thankless job, but somebody's got to do it.
Yep.
So, all right, guys, I'm going to
Nice
sign
seeing
off.
you again, Mike.
All right, same
All
here.
right.
Gary,
John,
take
I'll let you
care.
know if I'm
Hey,
coming in
stop in
January.
again if you're in the area,
You have my word on that.
All right.
All right, guys.
All right. Take care.
Be
All right,
safe,
bye.
my
I'm
friend.
going to take
Okay.
off too, guys.
Take off, John. I'll
Yeah,
let you know if I'm coming in
Yeah,
January.
I'm going to take off.
Okay.
Oh,
See you-
I didn't mean to end it.
Yeah,
That's all right.
well,
I don't know how to disconnect on this thing, so I may stay on after you're all gone.
Okay. All right.
No.
Take care.
I'm gonna be taking off. I just got back from, as I say, I was gone all day and
Yeah.
I'm whipped.
All right.
All right,
You
take
got
it
it,
easy. Tell
guys.
Jeanette, Gary, tell Jeanette I said hi
Will
again.
do. Will do.
Take her easy.